My wife did not just leave me. She left our children too. 2 kids, 7 and 4 years old. She packed a bag on a Tuesday morning while they were at school, and she walked out of the front door, and she did not look back. My 7-year-old came home that afternoon and asked me where Mummy was. I did not have an answer. My name is Daniel. I am 36 years old. I am a mechanical engineer from Leeds, and I'm going to tell you the story of the day my wife chose someone else over her own children and what the 3 of us have built in the years since. Sarah and I had been together for 9 years, married for 7. We had 2 children, a son named Oliver, who was 7, and a daughter named Lily, who had just turned 4. From the outside, our life looked ordinary in the way that most family lives look ordinary. School runs, weekend activities, birthday parties. The accumulated texture of a family that is simply getting on with things. I loved my wife. I want to say that clearly at the start because I think it matters. Whatever happened later, I had genuinely loved her, and I had believed, without serious question, that she loved me and that our family was solid. I was wrong about the last part. The signs were there in the year before she left. I can see them clearly now in a way I could not at the time. She had started a new job 18 months before everything fell apart. More demanding than her previous role, longer hours, a different social world that I was not part of and had not thought to be concerned about. She seemed happier in that job than she had been in years. I thought that was a good thing. I thought her happiness at work was simply her happiness and that it would flow into our family life and make everything better. I did not understand what was actually making her happy. His name was Marcus. He was a colleague. She had mentioned him occasionally in the way that people mention colleagues they work closely with. I had formed no particular impression of him. He was simply a name that appeared sometimes in accounts of her working day. He was not simply a name. I found out about Marcus on a Sunday evening 3 weeks before she left. I had picked up her phone to check a restaurant booking we had made, and a message came through that was not meant for me to see. I read it. I put the phone down, and I sat in our kitchen for a very long time while she was upstairs putting the children to bed. When she came downstairs, I asked her directly. I showed her the message. I asked her what it meant. She did not lie to me, I will say that. She sat down and she told me the truth. It had been going on for 4 months. She said she had not planned it. She said she had tried to end it twice and had not been able to. She said she was sorry. I asked her what she wanted to do. She said she did not know. We spent 3 weeks in that uncertainty. 3 weeks of sleeping in the same house, managing the children's routines, conducting the ordinary business of a family while something enormous and unresolved sat between us. I suggested counseling. She agreed to try. We had 1 session. On the Tuesday of the 4th week, she told me she was leaving. I asked her where she was going. She said she was going to stay with Marcus. I asked her about the children. She said she needed some time and space to figure things out. She said she would be in touch about arrangements. She left that morning while Oliver and Lily were at school. I collected them that afternoon. I made dinner. I helped with homework. I gave Lily her bath and read Oliver his bedtime story, and I did both of those things on autopilot while something in me that I could not yet fully access was trying to process what had happened. Oliver asked me at dinner where Mummy was. I told him she had had to go away for a little while. He accepted that. 4-year-old Lily did not ask. She ate her dinner and told me about something that had happened at nursery, and I listened and I smiled and I kept it together until both of them were asleep. And then I sat on the kitchen floor and I fell completely apart. I wanted to be honest about those first weeks because I think it is important. I did not handle them well in private. In front of the children, I functioned. I had to function. They needed me to function, and that need was the thing that got me out of bed every morning when nothing else would have. But in the hours after they went to sleep, I was a mess in a way I had never been before in my adult life. Not just grief for the marriage, not just anger at the betrayal, but a specific and devastating confusion about how a mother walks out on her own children. How you pack a bag and leave while they are at school and spend the evening with someone else while your 7-year-old is at home asking where you are. I could not make sense of it. I still cannot fully. I have had years now to try to understand it, and I think the most honest thing I can say is that some human choices resist being fully understood by the people they are made against. She called 3 days after she left. She wanted to arrange to see the children at the weekend. The call was practical and slightly formal in the way that calls become when the ordinary warmth between two people has been replaced by something colder and more careful. I agreed to the weekend visit because the children needed their mother regardless of what she had done to me. Whatever I felt about Sarah, Oliver, and Lily deserved access to both of their parents. I was not going to use them as leverage. That was a decision I made early and held to consistently throughout everything that followed. The visits in those early months were painful in a specific way. Not for me, or not only for me, for the children. Oliver was old enough to understand that something was wrong, even if he did not have the language for it. He became quieter. His teacher mentioned it at a parents' evening I attended alone. Lily started having nightmares. I took them both to a child therapist. It was the best decision I made in that entire period. A woman who was warm and patient and who gave them a space to process things that they could not process with me because I was too close to it. The divorce took 8 months. It was not straightforward. There were disagreements about finances and about the custody arrangement that required solicitors and time, and the specific exhaustion of fighting for things that should not have required fighting for. I will not go into all of it. But I will say that I came out of it with what mattered most to me. Primary custody of Oliver and Lily. Sarah sees them every other weekend and for periods in school holidays. The arrangement works in the practical sense. They have a relationship with their mother. She shows up for the visits. She is present when she is there. But she is not there for the Tuesday afternoon when Oliver comes home upset about something that happened at school. She is not there for Lily's first lost tooth or the morning she had a fever and needed someone at 3 in the morning. She is not there for the 1,000 small moments that make up the texture of a child's daily life. I am there for all of those moments. I want to tell you what the three of us have built because I think it is the most important part of this story. Oliver is 10 now. He is funny and sharp, and he has his mother's eyes and my stubbornness, and he is one of the most interesting people I know. Lily is 7. She is fierce and warm, and she has decided she is going to be a vet, and I fully believe her. We have a life that is ours. Loud and sometimes chaotic and built entirely around the three of us finding our way together. We cook together on weekends. We have Friday night film nights that have become sacred. Oliver has started teaching Lily card games, and they sit at the kitchen table for hours being completely absorbed in something I am not invited to join. I'm not going to tell you that single parenting is easy. It is the hardest thing I have ever done. There are days when I am running on nothing and I still have to be present and patient and engaged because 2 children need me to be. There are evenings when I sit in the quiet after they go to sleep and I feel the weight of doing this alone in a way that does not fully go away. But I also sit in that quiet and I think about Oliver's laugh and Lily's absolute certainty about the vet plan, and I feel something that I can only describe as grateful. Not for what Sarah did. I am not grateful for that, but for what it gave me without my asking for it. The fullness of knowing my children in a way that I might not have known them if our family had continued in its original shape. The particular closeness that develops between a parent and children when they are simply there, consistently and completely, for every ordinary and extraordinary moment. Marcus and Sarah are still together as far as I know. I hear things occasionally through people we used to know in common. I do not seek the information out. I have not been in a relationship since. I have had moments of wondering whether I will be again, and moments of being at peace with not knowing. What I know is that I am not in a hurry. I have 2 children who need me present, and I am present, and that is, for now, enough. What I want to say to anyone listening who is in the early part of this kind of story is this. The morning after she left, I did not know how I was going to get through a single day, let alone the years that followed. I got through them one morning at a time. One school run, one bedtime story, one Friday film night, one Tuesday afternoon when someone came home upset and needed someone to sit with them. That is how you get through it. One ordinary moment at a time. And somewhere in those ordinary moments, you look up one day and discover that the life you have built in the wreckage of the one you lost is something you would not trade for anything. I would not trade mine. Not for a single moment of it.